When it comes to Mario Party, you'd assume that it's mostly the same across most of the games in the franchise. The original 8 games in the series on home consoles were, let's be honest, pretty much the same formula. That was, until Mario Party 9 came in 2012, and to many people, it completely destroyed the Mario Party franchise. It is a game that is so different from its competitors in the sense that it's so out of this world, and having released right at the end of the Wii's life, just before the failure that was the Wii U, this game was rated as one of the worst Mario Parties in the entire franchise. However, Mario Party 9, to me at least, was the first time I properly got into the series. It's the game that eventually led me to purchase both Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars as of recently, and it's the one game that I can say, let's be completely honest here, that it's easier than smashing your mom last night. Oh! Anyway, with this, it's time to do the easiest thing in my life by winning Mario Party 9 on the hardest board and AI.
Yeah! Yahoo!
What's up?
Alright, I'm gonna make this super clear. This game is literally entirely different from every game that's come before it. But what does that mean exactly? Well, I'm gonna have to tell you this by doing a lightning round style game box kind of explanation to help explain it. You don't get stars, instead you get mini-stars. You also don't technically get a turn, and you can't pick how many turns you want because everybody rides in a car, not by themselves. So therefore, everybody's moving at the same time. You can't roll 1 to 10 anymore, you can only roll 1 to 6 regardless if you have special dice. Oh, speaking of which, the only items that you can get in this entire game in boards are dice blocks. And you'll only be lucky to get maybe like 5 minigames on a single board, because after one person rolls, you don't get a minigame as you would expect. The boards are super tiny because of course, and are honestly kinda lame. The AI actually flipping sucks and aren't really hard whatsoever, even on master difficulty. Bonus stars, they do exist, but they have the same randomness as Elon Musk selling Tesla stock. There's a story mode, but it's literally not worth it because it's essentially just party mode, but a Bowser was stealing your mini stars. And altogether, this game is fast-paced, but at the same time, a game's gonna go 30 minutes instead of an hour like it's supposed to. Okay, I mean, I could go on, but I'm just gonna stop. However, because this game is so easy, the game literally lasted only 30 minutes. So when in every other game in the series, it lasted for at least an hour, hence why previous episodes of the series have already breached into the 40 and 50 minute marks. So because of this game is super short, this video is going to be split into 2 different parts. The first part is going to be the actual game itself, and the second is going to be in minigame mode, showcasing some of the game's best minigames, since we're not going to get a lot in the game itself, so I want to at least show them off. There's going to be timestamps in the description, and you can probably see it on the screen here as well, for any specific parts that you're looking for. With this, our characters, as always, are going to be the same. I will be Mario, and the AIs are Peach, Wario, and Wah. We're going to be playing on Bob-omb Factory, mostly due to the fact of it's insane luck-based, but also because I didn't unlock Bowser Station, you know, the actual hardest board in this game. Also to note, my controller keybinds are the exact same as they were for Mario Party 8, but I'm going to be showing them again here if you forgot, so copy them if you so wish. I'm also not going to be referencing as like turn 2 started as something like that, since we're just going to keep going, as at the end of the day this is basically just one turn with people cycling back and forth. With this, it's time to show you just how easy this game actually is, so let's get into it. We begin our final game in the series with a 4 from Wario. He ends up earning 3 mini-stars in doing so and gets a special dice, a 4-5-6 block. Peach then rolls a whopping 6, gets some mini-stars and lands on a versus space to give us our first minigame, Peak Precision. It's surprisingly simple, just press the buttons in order to reach the top. I'm actually a literal god at this, and I gladly took victory. But, credit where it's due, at least Wario gave a good fight.
Finish! Yay! New record!
It's now my go, and I roll an impressive 6. Score some mini-stars and land on the shuffle space to swap everyone's turn order. Which, let's be completely honest, didn't really do that much. Wah then rolls up 4 and gets some mini-stars, and that's pretty much about it. Wario then uses his special dice and rolls a 6, and that's also pretty much about it. Peach then rolls up 3, loses some mini-stars, and lands on an event space. She immediately gets what she lost back. I can clearly see that the Peach continuing to do Peach things trend is coming back one more time. I then roll a whopping 6, and we enter the first of 2 boss battles. Quick clarification, just real quick. Every board has 2 boss battles. Think of it not as the halfway point because there actually is a halfway point of its own. These aren't halfway points because Nintendo don't want you to be confused. I wanted to keep this simple because, let's be completely honest here, I didn't trust the emulated controls whatsoever, and I knew that I wanted a good video. So we're gonna go with Socket to Lakitu, which is literally just hit a block to launch bullet bills at him. It's literally that easy, right? I mean, come on. I ended in taking victory in this minigame. And apparently, you also get a captain bonus in these boss battles if you're the captain and you're the one who chooses the minigame. So, it's an even more easy game. Now being in the lead, we head to the next major area of the board, and it's now Wa's turn, and we roll to find a bomb. Basically, once this number on his head reaches 0, the person who is currently driving loses half their mini-stars. Alright, cool, I guess. Wa then gets a 1 to 3 block shortly after. Alright, cool. Wario then rolls up 3 and lands on this lucky space. He heads down the Pipe of Doom, rolls up 4, and gets 3 mini-stars. Alright, cool. Peach's turn, and now she rolls up 1. And we're getting another minigame, that being Manner of Escape. You might actually know this particular minigame, as it's actually in Mario Party Superstars. But the concept here is pretty simple. You just want to go through the right doors until you escape. I didn't actually win this one. Funny enough, Peach ended up taking the win.
Start!
Yeah.
It's now my turn, and then I rolled a massive 5, and get exploded to lose half my mini-stars. It wasn't that bad though, I at least had 15, and I was still competitive with the rest of the gang, so it wasn't bad. Now we're gonna go backwards, since I landed on the backspace, and then I roll a 1, and we're getting another minigame, this time being Chain Event. No, it's not the chain of events of how you should subscribe, because only a small percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Anyway, this minigame requires to shake the remote left and right to not be hit. But because the controls are pretty funky on an Xbox controller, I actually ended up placing dead last. It's now Wa's turn, and he rolls a 6, and we're now getting a Bowser Jr. minigame. The kid picks me and Wa to beat him up somehow in the game Double Pounder, in which all you have to do is make sure that both players hit the same colors at the same time. You see how easy this game is? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, we ended up taking the win in this game.
Finish!
Now it's Wario's turn, and he rolls a 6, gets 10 mini-stars, and lands on the spin space. Now, no one can use special dice on their next turn, which really only plays an effect to Wa. Alright, cool. It's now Peach's turn, and she rolls a 6, gets some mini-stars, and lands on Bowser. What up, losers? It's Bowser time. Let's go! We then get some communism. Yeah! Now then, everybody now has 24 mini-stars, and with this, it's now my turn. I then roll a massive 2, and get 10 to myself, and start a captain event. Side note, every board in this game has a captain event of some description, and some can even have more than one. For this board, I get to pick where everyone goes on this line. The event spaces, marked by the question marks, move the line's mini-stars over to the left by 1, and you just gotta see how much you can collect. Wa starts us off strong with a 5, and lands to move it by 1. Wario then rolls a 1, lands on the event space, and it moves by 1. I then roll a 2, and it moves 1 again. Peach then rolls a 1. And well, let's be honest, I didn't get a single mini star. How sad. With this, we're now in the final area of the board, and Wah starts us off strong with a 6. We then get to the almost there flag, which is essentially the halfway point, even though it's not the halfway point. Wario then gets a slow dice because he's in last, and then Bowser shows up again. This time, he's here to drop his load on the board and give us several Bowser spaces. Alright, thanks bro, very cool. With this, we can now move our 6 spaces and land on the spin space. Sin space? Yeah, that's a fun space. Wah then steals 5 mini stars from me. Alright, thanks game, cool. Now it's Wario's turn, and he rolls a 6 with his slow dice. He gets 10 mini stars and lands on Bowser. It's that time again, right? Alright, let's get it. How can I drop my load today? He's now giving 10 mini stars to last place, which happens to be me. Thanks, Wario, for your generous donation. Peach then rolls a whopping 6. She ends up losing half of her mini stars and then gets 10 of them back right away. When we then land on Bowser again, let's go! This time, it's a reverse minigame, and it sounds exactly what it sounds like, in which you want to die as fast as possible, this time in the game Ballistics. Luckily, I'm a master at failing at life, so I easily won and got 10 mini stars out of it.
Start! Finish!
Now it's my turn, and I roll a whopping 5 to land in the last space, and it's a boss battle again. This time, we're fighting the man, the myth, the legend, Wiggler, and Wiggler Bounce. Simply ground pound his back and get points. Easy game. Let me repeat it. Easy game. I ended up taking victory in this event, and even got a captain bonus on top of my earnings.
Start! Finish!
Now it's time for the bonus stars. Yep, this game's fast. Each one will award 5 mini stars to your total. We begin with the Spin Star, which surprisingly goes to the entirety of Team Wah. Congrats, boys. The second bonus star is the Minigame Star, and I think let's be completely obvious, I think we know who got this one. And the final bonus star is the Slow Star, for whoever rolled the lowest rolls. And surprisingly, this one went to Wah. However, I had such a big lead, so I think we all know who won. Yep, I told you that this game was that easy. And I'll admit that yeah, the AI did put up a decent fight, but let's be completely honest here, they definitely felt a lot easier than before, and it honestly felt like they weren't trying. Still, happy I win though. With that, that's going to conclude the game part of this video, so if you're just here for the game, not for the minigames, then you can go and leave. But now, let's head over to Minigame Mode. Don't worry, the characters and difficulty are staying the exact same AI, same difficulty. Now, I'm going to show you some of the more fun and cool minigames that this game has on its table, because there are a good few good ones. Let's start, of course, with Don't Look. You might actually think this game is familiar, because it's kind of familiar to Look Away from Mario Party 2. Over time, the beat and the amount of time you have to react gets faster the longer the game progresses. It is a bit tricky with all of the controller mappings, but I ended up losing. Still, good minigame though.
Start!
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yes! Oh yeah! Oh!
Finish!
Next, let's check out Skipping Class. This one's a lot like Peak Precision from earlier in the sense that you just gotta match the button order on screen. Although, let's be honest, the button order in this game's actually pretty similar every time you play it, so once you get the gist of the controls, it actually gets even more easy.
Start!
Our next minigame up is Upward Mobility. It's essentially a basic top-down platformer. You just get to the top and you win, but I do like the incorporation of bounce blocks. It kind of makes it surprisingly fun, to say the least.
Start! Finish!
This next one is going to be the redemption arc for losing the basic platform minigame from Mario Party 8, and that is Skyjinx. It too is a basic platformer, but it's one that I've always loved, and it's one that I honestly wish that was in Mario Party Superstars.
Start! Finish!
Okay, how about a button masher? Let's try Launch Break, where you just gotta mash 2 buttons and shake the Wii remote a lot. I actually didn't win this surprisingly, and Wa would win this one somehow. Let's now try some Bowser Jr. games, like this one, Pedal to the Paddle. It's pretty straightforward, but falling off is actually surprisingly difficult, so it's not like you're gonna screw this up. And it doesn't help that you actually can't set Junior's AI, so we ended up winning anyway, because, like, I'm gonna guess Junior's AI is, like, medium or something, so it just felt way too easy.
Finish!
Alright, what about this one? Bumper Sparks, which I was stuck strafing the entire game, as, you know, this is the one game where my keybinds just didn't want to cooperate whatsoever, so therefore this is the one game that you probably couldn't emulate properly. Alright, let's try this 3v1 game, Weird Wheels, which is essentially just skipping class again. I don't think I have to say more. And finally, I think it only makes sense to round off this video by playing the actual best thing to have ever come out of this game, and that's Goomba Bowling. Once again, characters and difficulty are the same. I start off my rolls with a decent 18, and my second roll I managed to get 1 for a total of 19. Peach takes her first turn and rolls a 17, and she ends in getting a spare. It's now Wario's turn, and he also gets a 17. His second roll, he got 2 more for 19 total. And then Wah, literally out of nowhere, comes out of nowhere and gets a strike. This is now Wah's redemption arc. It's now our second turn, and I throw my shell to only get 6. I try again and get 10 for a total of 16. Peach then rolls to get a 19, and misses afterwards. It's now Wario's second turn, and he rolls and it gets a strike. Wah then comes in and goes 2 in a row for another strike. Team Wah is pissed, and they want revenge. My third turn now, and I do some really weird, strange throw to roll a 9. I then roll a 5 after for a total of 14. Peach is up next, and she scores a strike. Wario's up next, and he scores a strike, 2 in a row. And then Wah goes for the full hand for the turkey, and gets his 3rd strike in a row. Jesus Christ, Wah, I didn't know you loved bowling so much, good lord. It's now the 4th turn now, and I'll roll to only get 8. My second throw I got a 9 for a total of 17. Peach is next, and she rolls a pretty decent 10, and she then misses on her next turn. It's Wario's turn, and he rolls to get 19, and also misses on his second throw. Wah's up next, and sadly, he ended up breaking the streak and rolls a 16, and he misses shortly after. It's now our final turn, and I roll a pretty solid 11. In my second throw, I missed. Peach is up next, and she gets a strike. Wario is next, and he rolls a decent 14 and a 1 on his second throw. With Wah now ending the game, he successfully rolls a 4th strike.
Finish.
Congratulations, Wah, you actually won something in this series. Good job. And that is a wrap on Mario Party 9. This game is insanely easy, as I've even beat it in Master AI dozens of times on its original console, and it's still easy. But even then, I genuinely enjoy this game for that very reason. It's simple, it's easy, and honestly, it's a great entry for younger kids to get into the series, which I would argue is what Nintendo's plan was with this game. However, this is also the end of the winning Mario Party on the Hardest Board in AI series. This series has honestly been a blast to create, and I've now played Mario Parties that I've never even touched before, and I know so much more than I ever did. I don't want to say that this series is done, as let's be honest, at some point in the future I'll probably do the Wii U and Switch titles and maybe even the handheld titles at some point in the Mario Party series. But that's probably still a bit ways off, so we'll see. So with that, I think it's time for me to head out. My name is PandaPowerSauce, remember to stay saucy, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.